Hello, 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 you guys. Welcome to Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson. I am today doing the show with a special guest, Everyday Thoughts with JC. And we're going to talk about modern day dating ideation, whether or not you should be posting your relationship status, etc., on social media. I'm really excited to be having this conversation in general. I think there are a couple of talking points that we're going to explore that are really interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and get into the show intro, and then I'm going to bounce back on and I'm going to let him make his introduction. And you guys will be able to add yourselves on the panel if you're interested in speaking on the show, as long as you cam up and things like that. You guys know the rules of the platform. And I'll see you guys back in just a moment. Hey, welcome back. So, again, I am Dr. Jefferson, your host of Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson, and today we're going to talk about modern day dating ideation. I'm going to pause for a second after letting you guys know, if you are new to this platform, know that Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson is a platform that we use to have teachable moments, life expansions, and discuss the things that are happening in the world that affect Black and Brown and melanated community and abroad. More than likely, those discussions are the difficult conversations around accountability that make people fringe and feel a type of way and all that good stuff. But we are here for the conversation, regardless of how difficult or intense that conversation might be. So I'm going to let JC introduce himself. And so you guys kind of know, who he is and where his platform is grounded or whatever, and he'll talk about his platform. The link to his platform is on the YouTube channel, so if you guys are tuning in from Facebook, maybe you want to hit the like button on Facebook, and then click the link to come to the YouTube channel to be able to have the conversation there. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is JC, a special life coach, motivational speaker, a man of God, a husband, and a brand new father. So congrats, my wife and I.
Okay. So, it's interesting to me, and we're gonna have. I know Susanna said she's gonna log in a little bit later, and it is pretty open to you guys today. I know people oftentimes ask me, especially recent time, people have asked, do I allow call-ins and stuff like that? I do allow for people to come in and share their thoughts on the panel. My jacket is feeling weird on my chair. But I do allow people to come in and share their insights or whatever, because I think that it's healthy to have like a healthy dialogue or exchange. It's not just about what my feelings and thoughts and reflections are. I really do like to invite the perceptions of other people, because that kind of guides and kind of shapes the directionality of the conversation. Um I thought that this one was an interesting one when he kind of brought it to me. He was like, well, let's talk about your feelings and thoughts about posting relationship status on Facebook. And it kind of expanded the conversation. And as we sat here and we talked earlier, we were talking about some of the talking points around this particular discussion. And I would like to know what you guys feel are some of the red flags that come up when people feel a certain way or when they navigate social media in a certain way. You guys will see the different questions or topics of discussion kind of go across the screen. So you can type in the chat what your responses are, and then I can post your responses, and we can kind of have an exchange, a healthy exchange on here. If you guys don't want to come on and cam up, um, that's fine. But I thought, hmm, these are some of the things that I thought were pretty interesting. Um, there is the general ideation about modern day dating tactics. What you do to position yourself optimally to be able to get what you want out of a relationship, right? Um, and that looks so different for so many people. Hey, Mario, what's going on? Some people think dating looks like you meet somebody, because most of the time you're meeting people on social media now.
Yeah.
And that was the interesting part about this. Most relationships begin on social media now versus back in the day. And in my day of dating, there was no social media.
You talking about like 30 or 40 years ago? I'm messing with you.
There's no social media back then. And you couldn't just go online and look for a quick hookup, because there was no online for what. But so the thing is, like, when you remove that ease of access to people, right? People have to kind of go back to the old school ways of really getting to know each other and then marketing what they actually have. So you can't really use filters and all that stuff. So when you think about all of the filtration, right? All of the facades that present with social media relationships in general, the friendships, the situationships,
Yeah, yeah.
the hookups, the propensity for these things to happen are great, because that's how people move now. Like they find somebody, find a picture floating across the algorithm of Facebook that I still don't understand. They click on that person's page, and then they're linked and they send messages. And personally, I get a lot of unsolicited penis pictures in my
Oh,
inbox.
oh, oh, oh.
I do. A
I
lot of
mean,
just That's the first way that a man introduces himself. And I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting. And that's one of the reasons I was like, that'll be a good topic to discuss, because I have my own perception of how valid that is to the person that's out there on the other end looking at the social media content, right? Looking at the description that you put on your profile. Now, I do know that there are so many different types of social media platforms now. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not on the most of them. It's like y'all just doing too much. It's one thing to be in the computer. It's a whole nother thing to be dedicating yourself to a million different platforms, and that's why people stay in their phones. But I think sometimes people see the status of a person's relationship and they don't care. But also, Facebook does have Facebook dating. And I don't know how the Facebook dating profile, if you guys have been on Facebook dating, comment and let me know how that works as it relates to your personal profile on the Facebook social media. And I know there's Instagram and stuff like that, but when you're thinking about what content is pushed out there, you have to look at the possibility of other people seeing that content, right? And you have to look at what that social media platform is really used for primarily. So those are some of the things I think about, because when people are going to people's pages and they're deciding they want to date that person, they like that person, they want to connect with that person, they typically get in the inbox of that person before they even have a chance to look at the full on profile, in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's me.
that's true.
And sometimes what a person posts frequently, it dictates how people see
See,
them,
see,
or right.
yeah, perception.
So do you feel like, considering the fact that most relationships do start on social media, some type of social media, do you think there is a higher propensity of a person getting into a situationship or a intimate partner companionship that is more solidified and committed if they meet over social media and start conversations there?
I mean, I think it'd be a little bit of both. I mean, there's a situation where it is situational. There is some that is intentional. I know I met my wife. I met her in person, but at the Waffle House. So, that was kind of interesting. To be on social media, but actually meet my wife in person. That was kind of eye opening.
Yeah. Hey, Susanna. So,
Hello.
so we're talking about relationships and social media right now. The conversation is geared around whether or not it's appropriate to post your relationship status on social media, of course, but also we were talking about the propensity for people to have intimate partner based relationships that maybe go toward marriage after meeting somebody on social media, or if it's more like the situationships, hookups, friends with benefits,
Hmm.
casual sex events and stuff like that. Because one of the things that I mentioned, and of course on social media, I get a lot of unsolicited dick pictures. It's
I'm getting
penis
the
central. Yeah.
I'm getting the
Yeah.
invite to the group things and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's
Like
happening.
literally. It's more, that's what I get on social media. I don't get like regular conversations. Every once in a while, I may see somebody who's responding to a post or something,
Mhm.
and maybe there's some conversation there. But random people, the people that don't know me, that just ran across a photo on social media, there
Mhm.
it's 100% going to be a penis that presents before hello.
Nice.
And I don't know. I'm trying to learn the new language of social media. I thought that maybe that means hello.
Oh
But
wow. I mean, like I said, I do understand that a lot of women y'all do get shows, explicit pictures, but all you really have to do is just say your name, introduce yourself, just like you going on an interview or whatever. You know, explicit video, that's unacceptable. I mean, I've never done that before. I don't know what that's all about.
I think it's more common now than not, though.
Yeah, it
You
is. I
know.
mean,
Hey, Rush, what do you think? The question right now is like, what is the ideation of modern day dating? Like, do you think people use social media as a means to meet people to create and find themselves in healthy relationships where they are geared towards getting married at some point? Or do you think it's more like a casual dating, quick hookup kind of thing? What do you think though, Susanna? What are your thoughts?
Um, I mean, I think because just in terms of what I get, I clearly know that the messages, the text messages and stuff I get, it's not about dating. It's about let's do something real quick.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
about I wanna us being a long term relationship or me really get to know you. It's about, do you want to be in this other group, or could we do this tonight, or I've got this size, this, and do you want to look at it, kind of stuff. But I think people are beginning to think about other ways to relate to each other, and social media is giving them the opportunity. So, so people, I think it's easier on social media to present stuff that ordinarily people would talking about, like not okay to do, not okay to talk about, because when you do that, right, you're not in front of anybody, so
Yeah.
you can do that and be distant and not be, and whatever the impact of the shame kind of changes, rather than if you're in front of somebody and they're like, I don't swing, and what are you, why are you showing me this picture? You can do that and never have to deal with them
Yeah,
anymore.
because you don't have to worry about them coming back for you because they'll never
Right,
know where to find you.
right, because yeah, so, but I think people are trying to figure out, it's like, I think that they're looking for a companion, not
Mhm.
necessarily husband or wives, or long term relationship. They're just looking for a connection.
Okay.
And I just think about, what's the difference between the folks who post the pictures rather than the ones who says, hey, I want to connect with you. What
Right.
is that about? Like, there's a difference there. Because you get a lot of all different size, shape, and pictures of males' penises. I don't know if you get females, but males.
I get female vagina shots. I get
Okay.
that's why I said I think for me, I think that's the new way to say hello.
Mm,
This generation of people, like literally, because it's been happening. Like if something happens just all of a sudden, it's just one thing, it's an isolated event, that's one thing. When you get into it happening over a series of a lapse of time and
mhm.
it's continuous, like it happens over and over and over again, that's when I start thinking, okay, maybe this is the new pattern of being. And that's why it confuses me, because my thing is, for these young people out here, you want your genitals to be the first thing that a person needs, like.
But you know what, Dr. J, right? You out there as a sex therapist. So they are okay with sending you those pictures and not be chastised, not be think of as different or strange or odd or unusual. Really?
True. I
Think so.
sometimes I say that too, but even on my personal page, like it's not just my business pages, but my personal pages, I get a tremendous amount of unsolicited. It's just like the people want to introduce the bottom layer of their body before they introduce anything else into the conversation. And it's so
Mhm.
acceptable, perhaps. Like
Well,
for me, I mean, you're not going to get a rise out of me. Like literally, I'm a whole doctor. Like I'm not just a PhD. I'm a doctor. I went to med school. I've
and
seen
like an
lots of
MD,
naked
yes,
body
yes.
parts. There is nothing that excites me about seeing a random body part. Nothing. Nothing. Like so I sometimes I wonder if that is it, because some people do things for shock value, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so sometimes I wonder if that's it. Is that what motivates them to do that? That's like sometimes my mindset, but I'm like, whatever it is, it's a them thing more so than a me thing. So in attempting to level, I just delete and keep it moving. And I may see it and I may not see it because my inbox is so flooded on social media, whether you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook. Half of the time I won't even see it if you're not, excuse me, a person that I actually know and converse with on a regular basis. Like I get all kinds of messages. Some of the things are very interesting. And when you ask, like Rush says that he feels like it's more of a casual dating and hookup thing, right?
Mm.
That would totally make sense to me given the content that I get
Mhm.
in my inbox. Like,
And I'm not even sure it's dating. It might just be hook up.
yeah,
Is it
Yeah, I'm not
different?
even dating, Jake. I just like, hey, I'm just gonna show you my thing. That's it. There's no dating. I'm not gonna take you out to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Just, hey, come here, let's have sex, and that's it.
that has to be what it means
Yeah,
because
it's like,
like
especially with like what's it called, with Tinder and Plenty of Fish and all them dating apps, a lot of it's just for hookup and casual sex. It's not even for no lifelong marriage. And it's literally like I'm talking to you, I'm talking to like 50, 60 other women saying the same thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right.
like,
That's the reason I said, okay, maybe this is more commonplace to say hello because like I said, with Facebook having a Facebook dating component now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that really works. That's why I asked who's been on Facebook dating because the thing is if Facebook dating just randomizes and shows everybody's profile, even the people that are not actively looking to be vetted, then I could understand that. You know what I mean? But I, I have, you know what I mean? It's confusing. It gets confusing for me, the person that's not on any of that, but gets like these random things coming.
Well, do you think people are doing that because they want to know? Maybe they're trying to kind of talk about what their gender is, how they understand their gender, so they put it out there, and your response give them a good idea whether or not they should continue to be exposed or should they find another way of saying this is who I am. Because it's like sending just randomly sending your penis or your vagina to somebody. It's like, what is that all about? Like, where did you learn that? Who taught you that? So, what are you trying to tell me when you do that? Is that really about dating, or is it about you trying to identify who you are and you're looking for acceptance?
And I think that that's a good question
I don't
because
know. We need to
I
ask
don't know.
next time. Next time you need to respond to those pictures.
I've had, the interesting, I will not lie. When I first started getting those unsolicited dick pictures, I'll say in 2007, 2008, I was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Stop sending this to me!" Right? And then I said, "It's just way too many of them." If they say if you can't beat them, join them.
Wow.
So I'll join by not having a conversation is gonna come in here anyway. I'm just gonna delete it, block you, keep
Mm.
moving. I mean, block you, delete it, and then keep it moving. So for me, um, hey, official urban therapist, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you, sir?
Thanks, Mario. Yeah, people hit the like button, get my views up, and all that good stuff. Share this content. The official urban therapist, you should come on and share your insights.
Because like, why do guys do this? Why, just on understanding the men's perspective. Is it really? I don't know. Is it people trying to tell you their gender preference, but not being able to say it? Because sometimes people don't feel safe saying that stuff. So if you put a picture, then you send it to somebody, you'll get a response. Then you'll know, oh, not him, not her. I need to move to some another way of doing this to connect with the people who I really want to connect with and be my real me.
I mean, I just feel like it's like a lot of immaturity because only like immature man would like set a picture like that when he's first meeting somebody. I mean, I can see you guys and talking, you guys been dating, and you guys feel like that you guys at that level to be intimate, then that's okay. But just meeting someone out the box with a dick picture, I don't really agree with all
Yeah,
that.
and they don't do just one. They don't send just one dick picture.
Like,
They
this is
got
not.
actions with it.
I'm just from a different generation. Like, we don't do
They
all this.
send, yeah, they
Hey, how
send
you
a
doing?
lot. The first message would be a your inbox is filled with penises. At least I will say about the female when I get like female boob shots and vagina shots and stuff like that, it's just gonna be one.
Yeah.
But men will give you a 5, 6, 7 slide view.
And some actions with it too.
Yeah, and some video content too. Masturbating in the shower, all of that. So to me, if you're looking to date like that, if that's how dating starts for men,
No, it doesn't have a start.
Yeah.
Unless you guys are like in a relationship and you guys know each other, then that's kind of like y'all thing that y'all do for each other. Maybe long distance, y'all try to spice it up. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of my.
yeah, but you should have
It should be on
phone
social
for
Yeah,
that.
media.
like I said, but actually be in a relationship, actually be in a marriage. Don't just do a random stuff, random women. Like who does that? I mean,
Yeah, like
Yes, so what's that about? Mm.
I don't agree with all that stuff. I mean,
so I don't know. Do you? So let's go to the next question. Do you believe you should post your relationship status on social media?
well, honestly, I really don't have an issue with it. I mean, I'm confident in my marriage, confident Me being a husband, me being a new father. I mean, I'm proud of my wife. Found her, really blessed to have her, blessed to be a father. So in my case, I don't have an issue with it, but I do know a lot of people they do have an issue. You know, I'm gonna date in private. Nobody's gonna know who I'm dating with, who I'm seeing. I mean, my thing is you guys are just dating, you guys are just hanging out, having good times, and I don't think you guys need to be posting. Because you guys seen Lori Harvey, you seen Michael B. Jordan and stuff, you seen Megan Good, you seen Devon Franklin and stuff. You seen them, they built that relationship up, and then they next year or so they're broken, and then they gotta go back to their Instagram page, Facebook page, whatever page, gotta delete all the messages and photos and stuff. So, me personally, I don't have an issue with it. Just understand that it does come with conflict if you guys don't work out. Guys are going to criticize you. Guys are going to pull backlash from you. So you do have to be cautious of that too, the goods and the bad of posting your relationship on social media.
Hmm. I don't know. When I think that when you are dating, right? Because it depends on how social media intense, that's what I call it, you are. So I feel like the intensity or the amount that you're on social media should dictate the extent to which you post on your page or what you post on your page. I feel like, here is my thing. I think if you're a person who is posting on social media a lot,
Yeah,
and you pretty much post everything on social media
Mm,
day to day,
mm,
and then all of a sudden you're in a relationship, like, I have my thoughts about the dating process, but you're in a full-fledged relationship, you've made a commitment, you found yourself married, whatever the case is, right? I feel like then if it all of a sudden that's the only thing you don't
mm,
post,
mm,
and your activities while you're on those social media platforms include single people stuff, I think that that should be kind of like, you
red
know what I
flag.
mean? Yeah, it's
mm,
definitely a red flag, and I feel like there are just so many more, but I don't feel like it should be maybe a requirement to post your social media. I mean, your relationship status on social media, but I do feel like if you are posting everything but your relationship or the dynamics of your relationship, and it's a social media page that you share with your family, friends, it's a page filled with personal stuff, but your relationship not personal. I feel like,
mm.
but I also think that the more you post, the more scrutiny
Yeah,
you
You're
are
right.
under.
Yeah.
And I recognize that. But I think that that comes with, even if you're not posting it on social media, it comes with life and society. You're not going to not go on a date with your person, right?
Mm,
yeah, and
And you're going to have favorite restaurants. Some people, I remember when I was dating and I had favorite spots. If I'm dating, if I decided I'm not going on another date with that one guy that I dated last week,
mhm,
today we're on a date with another candidate because the other one's been dismissed. It might be at the same place. Hell, the whole staff might not. Might be terrible now you think about it. But for me, it's about getting to know. It would be about that process because for me, dating is the process of vetting
yeah,
courtship. So
course,
if you are vetting courtship, so that means you're getting to know potential candidates and you guys are going places to sit down, talk, eat, get to know one another more intimately to figure out whether or not you're potentially a good fit to move forward with the process
mhm,
of courtship. I feel like that should be you should be one and done. Now, I'm not going to hold people to my standard, but you should be one and done. You should know from one date whether or not that person is in alignment or outside of the alignment of your basic boundaries. Because I feel like in the first date, that's what you should be talking about. I feel like you should be talking about, hey, I want to know if you smoke, if smoking is a thing, because smoking is a thing for me. I
mhm,
want to know if you are 420 friendly, as they call it. I want to know if you are, right? Because if that's the thing for you on either side of the spectrum, you need to be able to toe that conversation then, because if it's a non-negotiable for you and you know it's going to cause issues for you, just don't date them. Don't move forward because you know you can't build anything healthy with them. Now, I do feel like modern day dating techniques are geared more to multi-dating and dating without a purpose. And I know that that's the Lori Harvey narrative. People have been saying that. People like she had she got a new man every year. Okay, judgy, judgy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean,
I
she's
mean,
still
You might
young,
be
so I
going
mean,
through
nobody knows but
she's still
them. I
young.
mean, we're just making assumptions because
right. I mean, but if she's dating people and she's not finding what she wants after, I just feel like she's giving these people too much time. And I'm going to be honest, I do feel like she's toxic in the way that she moves in relationships, because there is no way you're going to tell me that after a full on year of dating this guy, you didn't know that you guys were going absolutely nowhere. Fuck. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm just saying. This
Yeah,
is
I
just
mean,
me
I
being
thought,
honest, because at that point you're wasting people's time. Get out of the kitchen if you ain't ready to cook the meal.
yeah,
Like
well,
we out here starving.
yeah, my own process is like 2 years. If you guys have been together for 2 years and he hasn't proposed to you, or you guys don't feel like y'all married, then I feel like you're wasting your time. That's just me. I'm
What
not
do you
saying
think?
in
What do you
2
I'm
years.
not I'm not saying like as far as having the actual wedding, but you got
Yeah,
mentioned
but
within.
knowing whether it's going somewhere, I
Yeah,
think I think
yeah.
y'all are giving too much time to it. 2 years,
Yeah.
2 years of my time. You're not wasting my time in
No,
two
no,
years.
no. Not 2 years of that. Just 2 years of like actually like knowing afar. Yeah, we're going to get married. I mean,
Yeah, like knowing at least that you want to make a serious commitment to that person. Like I
yeah,
feel like at that point, if you've not made your decision within a
yeah,
year of come on, a
Yeah.
year of dating, that means that person you have gone through holidays, birthdays, celebration.
Met his parents, he met your
Right.
that's
family,
your
you
first.
met his
Yeah,
family.
that's
Put
true.
that
You're right about that because you can't.
6 months.
Y'all, you've been to different kind of cookouts, barbecues.
right.
Yeah.
Been
You
to
can,
funerals, been
Yes, you
to
can't deal with
yeah.
your
You met
in-law.
friends.
You can't get a vibe for their family. You feel like, hey, y'all not clicking on the same page, and yeah, you like, okay, well, either you're getting married or you're not. Like that's just how I am. Like,
and especially if you're out here on social media, because think about it. If you are on social media, then that means that more people are observing the dance you're
Mhm.
doing. So we're posting pictures together, people seeing us together. And then next thing you know, they're seeing me and somebody else together. And you got after a while, the community started to get confused, especially if the community is your family and the church. They like, what are we doing? Polyamory? Yes, Pastor. Yes. Yes, I'm looking for all of the husbands that I need. Is that what she responds
yeah,
with? Like you got, because if you've got stacked on, stacked on, stacked on all these different guys that you're having in rotate, I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm not judging Lori Harvey, but I'm judging.
Now, I don't really know her situation.
I'm looking
When
at
this stuff
her
happens,
reality. I
yeah,
don't care
yeah.
about her situation.
All right.
After a year you've been dating somebody, you've been you've been having this man penis in and out of you for a whole year. You don't know if that's a permanent penis or a temporary penis.
We don't know that either.
Oh, you do. She talked about it.
I'm judging Lori Harvey. I don't care what y'all say.
She talked about it. These are things that she talks about. So my thing is, the more remember I told you, the more you put out there,
The more
the
you
more
open
scrutiny.
yourself up for scrutiny. Yeah.
Yeah. So my thing is, ma'am, come to the table. Let's have a conversation.
What are you looking for? Really
Yeah.
looking for? Like,
yeah,
is your
like I said,
thing?
like both parties got to be on the same page. I mean, you
All
you
parties,
just,
not
you just
both.
try to have a good time. Like, what are we doing?
She got a whole swingers club now at this point.
Mm.
That's not a both party.
I
That's
mean,
a
you just want
many
to have a good
party.
time. I mean, hey, that's for you. I'm not for that. So I'm not.
Right.
Like, just be honest. Stop wasting people's time because time waits for nobody.
Right. So I don't know. Welcome the official urban therapist to the platform. Go ahead. Let us know where you
You
stand.
mad at Miss Harvey, okay? She's trying to live her
Hey,
best life, as dysfunctional as it is, okay?
yeah. So salute everybody. Happy Saturday to y'all. Happy Saturday. Now, can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
hear you.
you.
All right, cool. Yeah, salute everybody. So sorry about my attire. I actually just came back from the fishing pond with my son because we had a fishing contest in our community. So
Oh,
Oh,
I was teaching him how to fish, and he did really good. Did really good.
good.
oh, good,
So
good, good.
That
That's a good
should
job.
put on
Good
social
job.
media.
Congratulations
yeah,
to him. He's moved into the what they call it, the man doing man
Manhood.
things. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Man has to do a couple of things. He has to be able to provide.
hmm
With the way things going now, you're gonna have to go out there and get it yourself.
Yeah, I know, right?
Food's so high,
I'm
like
younger.
food's so high, you gotta pay to breathe now.
I need
hmm
you to get me gas bill when I have to take you fishing, okay?
You know,
I know, right?
I'm
But
telling
yeah,
you.
my your Mrs. Urban, she didn't think I knew how to fish. I like, girl, yeah, I know how to fish. I know how to fish really good. So she told me, yeah, right. So we went
You're
to
gonna
that
learn today.
pond, and she learned today.
Yeah, she gonna learn today. Like I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm trained to go. Like I know as we're
hmm
in a whole recession, this is the next Great Depression. My family gonna be eating it. We ain't doing
Yeah.
nothing else. Now I don't know how y'all gonna get to that pond.
hmm
Because the
Bicycles, that's
gas
the new thing. Buy some bicycles. Oh, you need money to buy the bicycles. Okay.
exactly with the gas prices
Uh,
being as high as they are, inflation being where it's at, housing market being how it is, you're
Yeah,
gonna have
that's
to
too high.
learn how to do some real man stuff. You need to
yeah,
build a house.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because
You got
GoFundMe
me
is not
trying
going
to
to
drink.
work
My
anymore.
feet going up too.
So
Huh?
who you telling, bro? Dang.
Look, but you gotta learn. You gotta cut them trees down. Y'all gotta go back to the Paul Bunyan days. It's gonna be a rough one out here. This is where the boys and the men are separated.
Mhm. but
But yeah,
let's jump into the topic. And I see you got the question on. Do you believe? Do you
do
believe
you
you
believe
should
your
post your relationship status on social media? Absolutely not. Absolutely
Oh
not.
wow.
Absolutely not.
why not? Why not?
Why
Why
not?
not? You don't
the,
want to be Lori
the,
Harvey?
No.
the reason why I say that is because we have a tendency want to post different things about our life because we want to be accepted by our peers,
That's true.
especially dealing with relationships. It is none of their darn business about what goes on in our relationship. In fact, when you post your relationship status and post different pictures of your relationship stuff like that, through my experience, I learned that it be haters out there because they be looking like, man, they're doing this and that and that, and I don't care about all this going on in my relationship. So they start going trolling on your pictures, trolling on your photos. And some people will be bold enough to go into your DMs and tell me, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
to deviate from all that, just don't post it out. It ain't nobody business. We're going on your relationship.
You know,
Hey,
that's
not all
interesting. That's a different perspective.
they're not all bad.
That's a different perspective. But then, so your social media, right? Like I said earlier, it depends on the intensity of your social media posts. So if your
hmm
social media audience is only your family, friends, and stuff like that, because I do feel like social media is a great way for family to remain connected when they live at a far distance away from each other, right? if if that's your audience, and then you want to make sure that you're keeping them updated with your life and stuff, because I have a private social media account and I have a public figure social media
hmm
account. So there are things that I absolutely would never post.
The, that Dr. J. Now you know good and well that even family hate.
Mhm.
Family members, now you do have that, and I'm glad that you brought that up, okay? Because then it's organic. Nobody feel like I've thrown shots. So the thing is, like, they do, but I believe in allowing people to be in control of themselves, because I can't control people, but I'm going to control the fun and the life that I live. Because
Right.
if they
hmm
are jealous of it, whatever sentiments they have about what it is that I'm doing with my space, my time, my life, my money, that's their business. And if they got some stuff that they need to resolve, they need to go find themselves a therapist to be able to resolve those things. But I have that, I have that happen, quite frequently from family members. But just because we are blood related doesn't mean that I regard you as family. And I've always been a person that's like that. Like I've always been very differentiated. So my thing is we're either you add value to my life or you're not in my life. That's just how that works, because whatever value you see me attributing to your life is your assessment, not mine. Right? So for me, it's about keeping myself aligned with the energy I feel like is positive and continues to contribute in a positive way to my life. And I do find that when you're posting things, because of course on my personal, social media, which is limited, as I mentioned earlier, I ain't got all everything y'all twitching.
Become major part. Yeah.
Hold up, yeah, I'm friends with you on Facebook. Let me look at some of your photos real quick.
You so not friends with me. So not
and post them while you at it too.
Now I have my private Facebook page, recent trips and stuff that I've taken. I will post some of the photos, but I'm not going to post all of them. I just told you how many penis pictures I get unsolicited. So think about me posting photos of me in a bathing suit. You're basically naked out here in these streets. Yeah. I don't want somebody jacking off to me.
So you don't be
page. It's just not happening.
So you purposely don't be posting thirst trap pictures.
I'm thinking to myself like they may be doing it anyway, but no. Anybody can make anything a thirst trap picture. I have learned that from being a therapist of sexual predators for years. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I learn something new from my patients every day when it comes to like the things that they consider to be sexy. I learn a lot of stuff from my escort clients. I'm telling you. You would think that you've heard it all when you're at the point that I am at this.
Hey, bro.
Never.
As long as I've been knowing Dr. J, she had taught me an important lesson. That important lesson is that women are master manipulators. So don't believe the hype of what she's talking about. Trust me, she got some thirst trap photos. She got them.
I don't think so.
I post stuff.
I'm playing with you though.
I don't have enough thirst trapping. I don't have enough thirst trapping material. Like,
whatever that is. That's I've never heard that before. I guess I'm really old. I've never heard that term before.
Look, I'm trying to see. I'm on social media now, looking at this new trend of these hoochie daddy shorts. I'm trying to see what I can see.
You know what? I was actually going to do a show about that next week. I was going to talk about that and see what really think about that.
Shorts.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that.
You, I've been shocked and appalled in life and in public, and I'm still looking.
I was going to talk about that. I was going to talk about that in regards of the double standards, because some people when women post, saying their bikinis and stuff like that, they call it thirst trap photos. Yeah. But when men do it, it's a different standard. So
I know it's thirst trapping. There's thirst
trapping either way. Like just like the gray sweatpants.
Oh yeah, the gray sweatpants is something, boy. I'm telling you, y'all started something. Y'all started that. Women were going crazy. Like, what? We're at the strip club on social media.
Hey, to this day, I have some gray sweatpants. To this day, Mrs. Urban would not let me go out the house with my gray sweatpants on.
Oh no! Period. Oh no! That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening. You're not doing that. Oh, where you going? Oh, we going together.
I'm like, man, I'm just going up to Walmart, guy. I'm doing some groceries.
You need.
I don't feel like dressing up to go to Walmart.
She gonna redirect you real quick.
Yeah, but
I don't have a problem with posting. Sorry, your relationships on social media. I think what it is once you post, you post something about you feel you have the need to like post more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
I like to think my stuff is benign. And if I post stuff and people make funny, critical comments, I just don't respond because I move on. I just don't read into it because if I made a trip somewhere to another country, I'll post my trip. And I don't post all my pictures. I post certain things. So for me, I know how to at least I tell myself I know how to modulate and regulate what I post, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not posting with the intent to get, oh my god, wonderful, great. And I don't discuss intimate stuff with my significant other on social media. If we had an argument, fight, I
Most
don't post that.
definitely.
I don't ask questions. What if your husband does such and such? What do you do? I don't do that.
Yeah,
That's off limits.
But you
So
know what?
mm-hmm.
I think that that's interesting. And now that you bring that up, think about
Yeah.
it. Like, that's one of the things that people get so riled up on social media around. Like, you will post your whole relationship. That's why I told you it depends on your intensity and the
Mm-hmm.
expectation pieces.
nah,
Because like you'll post everything around your relationship. Oh, this motherfucker cheated on me, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I
nah,
caught him with so and so,
don't
posting
do
the
that.
videos, the lives, all of that. But the moment you get backlash,
Yeah.
when you're posting the next week, you hugged up with the same motherfucker that cheated on you and all that stuff that you said.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the backlash from that piece, you have something to say. Oh, that's my business. No, ma'am, you
You
made
put
it
it out
our
there.
business. It's all our business. It's my business. What you mean you with him? What y'all still together for? I'm all in it now because you made it our business when you told me.
Right, right. Well, it's interesting because one time my husband got sick. Myself and my husband were both psychotherapists. He got sick at work and had to be, the ambulance had to come. So he posted because he does not like ambulance. So he posted about, he was sort of scared the ambulance is coming, and I got a flood of calls. I mean, emails, social media, and what's going on. And I'm like, I had to make some phone calls. Like, this is not your business. Don't ask me what's going on with my husband because I'm okay about saying that. And then I said to him, honey, we don't post, we don't do that stuff
Like, boy,
because
stop posting all this stuff. Don't be having nobody calling my phone about
it exposes me too. Right? It's
yeah.
not no longer him. They're asking everybody, did
Oh,
he die?
that's a good point
I
because we're
asked,
like, do you post your relationship status on social media? If he had never listed who he was married to on social,
right?
they wouldn't have access to you. But that's why I tell people, like, especially like my family members and friends who are like on my more, restricted, second page, because I have multiple Facebook pages and stuff like that, right? If it's one that I know other people, it's just like really high access to the public. I'm like, don't tag me. You don't want to
Yeah.
tag me. You really don't, because like my patients can see that page.
Mm-hmm.
And I I'm a trauma specializing psychotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
So I see severely mental ill, personality disorders, bipolar disorder. I specialize in personality and severe personality, complex personality disorder, right? So think about that: schizophrenia,
Mm-hmm.
acute psychosis, delusion disorder, DID. You know what I mean? That's multi-personality spectrum, right? So if you have a person has dissociative identity disorder, that's that multi-personality thing. You don't know who you're going to get today, who you're going to get the next moment, who you're going to get the next moment, and the next day. So that other one of those personalities might be a very aggressive and violent personality. You are posting and tagging your location with me, and now that person, maybe one of those personalities is obsessive, and then don't call me and hold me accountable when that person's showing up at your door.
Mhm,
You
mhm,
see what I'm saying?
mhm,
And
mhm,
yeah, so you have to think about that kind of stuff. Like, I think like people don't think, because okay, that's not the work that they're doing and they don't know what that work looks like. Like a lot of things I think with the mental health, people have no idea that how serious and how severe it is. Like I've heard so many people say things even in response. Remember I told you about the incident at the hospital?
mhm,
This is a member of hospital staff saying, "Oh no, that wasn't a mental health issue. The situation in Uvalde, Texas. You have the attestation of this man's young boy's grandparents on television, mother on television, saying this is not like him. Stop calling him a monster." For me, politicians even having that discussion like that, that's
mhm,
unprofessional because you've not gotten him officially assessed. Anybody with a clear line of sight to this situation knows that this is
mhm.
obviously a psychotic break.
Right.
You know what I mean? This kid hasn't been planning for the, school shooting his whole life, right?
Right.
So apparently there are stressors that contribute to the exacerbation of that ideation that led to him doing this, right? That's what mental health disorders are.
Mm-hmm.
It's called acute psychosis. That is a mental health disorder. So yes, it is a mental health issue. They're like, oh, they love to say that when it's a non-black person. No, ma'am.
Yeah. Mental
And
health has
so,
doesn't discriminate.
yeah. So, those are the things for me sometimes that are, I think that's why I said we need to have more advocacy and support out there in the community, because I feel like people just, they don't know what it looks like because they know a few select lay terms about some mental health
Mm-hmm.
disorder. The key term being a narcissist. They call everybody a
Or
narcissist.
everybody bipolar, and you have no concept of what that means whatsoever.
Exactly. Right.
None.
Yeah. So those are things for me that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
And just like we've had my husband have had clients showed up at my door.
Yeah.
Because of social media, because your clients are connected to people you don't know. One guy showed up Saturday morning ringing the doorbell demanding his DUI evaluation because he got to go to court on Monday. It's like, what? Like,
Hey, listen.
I
Listen.
was like, wait a minute. We're looking out the window going,
Meanwhile,
heck.
meanwhile, husband's got the kid in the arm, wife coming at the door.
Yeah, the wife was in the car. It's like,
Uh-oh.
we're not writing you a DUI. You got your DUI, dude. But it's like, how do you know where I live? Because as psychotherapists, we don't share our address.
Yeah.
But because you're on social media, you just don't know who your friends know. Right?
He did what is known as doxing. So basically, what he did, he looked up your public information and found out where your
Probably.
residence is at.
Well, because we also service a community that to some degree we're part of.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
Yeah, it's like
I
the peer stuff, peer
the addictive
counseling.
community, the mental health community, but we're all a part of that because that's the work we do. We work grassroots, we do grassroots social work. So we work with the people that we know, kind of. And they know people. And I don't know how he found, I don't know how he found our address, but he was determined. He came looking for, so, I say that to say about when you start posting stuff on social media, you expose yourself and give people permit. People feel they have permission.
Right.
To
And
take a step
permission to that,
further.
yeah. So how do you guys feel if your partner does not post your relationship status?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't appreciate it. I mean, like I said, I'm married, so I say, I'm married. I tell everybody I'm married. I mean, that's just how it works for me. I'm the same man with my wife. Everybody knows she's married, so that's kind of how we go about our business. But to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I don't go up on my husband's page and look at who's on his. I don't even think.
Yeah, I don't
about
even do
doing
all
that.
that. I don't like go through phones or emails. I don't even do all that. I mean, all that's just childish to me.
Yep. Because I don't. Yeah, let's say even on my page, so I don't care about that. I don't care if my wife posts pictures of us or not uh, on her social media page. Trust me, I do not care. She could have that thing on there, single, ready to mingle. I would not care. I would not care because I
Yeah, you
already know the
would.
truth. I already know the
Yeah,
truth.
you would.
She's over here chilling with me.
So what is that? But what does that mean? Like if you're, because there are some, and we're gonna talk about red flags. I do have that talking point up here, and we're gonna address that one because a lot of people have severe insecurity as a relationship counselor, right? I have so many clients that have the Dr. J. He's cheating. He's putting his phone down this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. That's why I'm laughing.
Okay, tell me what that means for you, then.
Yeah, well, because he doesn't want you to see who's calling.
Right. I'm like, am I putting you got me looking transparent. I'm saying, like, am I putting my phone down? Like, is there a right or a wrong way to put your phone down? I think that this is a more protective way to put your phone down if you want to make sure that screen don't crack, because this is a $2,000 phone.
Mhm.
I don't know where you would even get the ideation that equates to them cheating. If my husband doesn't allow me to go through his phone, that means that he's cheating. If my girlfriend doesn't allow me to go through her phone, she's cheating. If I can't have the password, they're cheating.
Yeah.
If they're not posting on social media, they with me, they're cheating. You
that's
looking for
security right
somebody.
there. That's security.
Mhm.
Like I
Like,
said,
are y'all
marriage,
not here looking for somebody?
we're not worried about all that stuff. I mean, you come with me every night. We in the bed every night. So what we worried about people outside relationship, marriage. Think about it.
Yeah, and just in response to the question, I don't have a feeling about what if my husband didn't post that he had a wife.
Me either. Like, it's your social media. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
doesn't. That's his own personal space.
Yeah.
So he can put whatever he wants in it. When it infringes on me, we have a discussion about it. It's like, oh, baby, don't post any pictures of going to the hospital, because now these folks are calling me. People
Right.
ask me, is he dying? Did he die? It's like, what's,
And why is that the first thing people tell? Thank God. Thank God.
So,
I
so,
did.
so your husband is okay to want to put as his status single and ready to mingle?
What about?
But
what
he would not do that. I could speak for him. He would not say that because
No, I got another question. What about the tracking? Tracking your husband or your wife? What y'all feel about that?
No. Tracking him?
No, I'm talking about for like safety reason, like
Yeah. You talking about use the finder location?
I've never used I don't even know how to use the location app, but
I know how to use it, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
kids,
but for me, right? Remember we talked about when you're starting a relationship, things you talk about, how you take a look at whether this person fits you or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been clear, so there's no point in the 13 years we've been married to even think about needing to do that, to track him.
I don't think I want to know where. I just, and it's interesting because, like, I think with my relationship, it's interesting because we have like two separate ideations. Like, on my end, I could care less about where you are. I hope that OnStar can track you. Make sure you keep your Guardian app on and active.
Right.
So if you have a situation, they're able to say that they have watched you driving. Because now they detect your ride and all that extra stuff. And for the insurance purposes, keep that on for them. They'll be able to locate you if there is an issue, and you can press that if you can't get to that SOS button inside of the car, right?
Right.
But I don't need to know where you're going, where you're at, and how long you're going to be there unless it infringes on something that we have planned together for that day. And you would have known that before that day got there. So it's, I don't know.
Well, what do you guys think?
But he, on the other hand, he very much likes to track me. If I move, he wants to know, where are you? What you doing? Like, I promise I'm gonna die. I promise.
I gotta hunt you down and stuff. That's just an insecure person.
The only time I use that Finder app is with my children. That's it. And I don't use it with Mrs. Urban at all. Period.
Oh well, I don't even use it with my children because I have too many kids for one.
Yeah, because I don't use it as a trying to see where they at. I use it just in case they end up losing their device, and I can want to track it down.
Well, yeah.
I use for that purpose. Before us, where they doing, what they be. I don't.
Yeah, I don't even do that. It's enough for them to track each other. So I use my kids to track each other. Where's your brother? Where's your sister? Where's your brother? Where's that one? Where's this one? I'm a mom of 11. I do not have time to be tracking. That's too many kids. There's too much energy. There's too much time. There's too much. I got too much to do. So they can track each other, and they all know how to use the iPhone things and the Note Galaxy app that has tracking and stuff like that. They've got all that stuff figured out. So I just,
Me too. My kids have known that from like day one. Back.
Yeah, I go to them. Can you find me?
My son picks up my phone and says, "Mom, you got to put this on so you can know da." Because
I'm the one that gets lost. I'm the one that gets lost in America. I'm like, hey, can you find me? Can you come to me? Like, can you see where I am right now? Do you know where this is? And they're like, Mom, I can see your location. I'm coming. What do you need? You need
So
to come put some gas in my car.
Yeah, but for me, it is if you have good healthy level of communication in your relationship, no matter how long it's going. There's no need to do that. Like my husband could get up, get dressed, and go in the morning and be gone for most of the day. I'm not. Where is he? What is he doing, honey? Where are you? I know what his weekend looks like. I know. I
Right.
mean, I don't. I have. We have because we talk about that stuff all the time.
I remember
Yeah.
So
I remember reading the article where the lady was had the guy record his whole entire work shift. That was just funny.
uh huh.
I was just laughing. Like he had to record his whole entire 8 hour shift to her just to make sure
Wow.
he wasn't cheating on her or stepping out on her.
That
mhm.
relationship
I've
is in trouble.
seen I've seen some pretty severe
Yeah.
insecurity in relationships. So the next question, at what point is it reasonable to feel insecure with your partner's engagement on social media? Them double taps? Double tap.
When he put the phone down,
What happened? When you turn that phone out? What? When
you
you
haven't
coming
seen any
behind him and you like
yeah. I don't know.
looking at you like,
Mhm.
what you want? Don't want to let you see. If he put a privacy screen on, like, at what point do you think it's reasonable to feel insecure with what they're doing on social media? For
There's no time. Why are you insecure about his posting? If you have issues, if you have a concern, you bring it to your partner. Like, honey, da 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 da. What does this mean? So why are you? Because to get insecure, you're just like stirring up stuff in your head to get to that point. Like, right?
yeah,
That
I
doesn't just
say
happen.
something
You
the
got
first. If you see, look, what is the law now? If you see something, say something.
yeah.
Say it then. Whatever you're feeling, let that insecurity, whatever that is that makes you feel away, let them know, and then have that discussion. My thing, I don't know. I guess let's think about it. Considering the fact all of the things that I know from being a marriage counselor and stuff like that, what
Mhm.
I do, no, is that many people use social media as a means to cheat easily because they've told me.
Mhm.
And it's not their partner told me they think. It's them they told me in their individual
Mhm.
private session. They're like, look, Dr. Jefferson, hey, Twitter works like this. Facebook dating works like this. It makes it super easy. I just go and I lay the smack down and knock some ankles, whatever that means. And then I go back to her. I do feel bad, but I don't know what this is for me. I'm like, well, let's define what the knocking the ankles and stuff like that. So when we're doing that, they're like, oh, that's sex. Oh, well, whoa. Social media is giving you sex, like access, right? So when you are flushing that out and you see that, it's about ease of access for the men and for the women when they're cheating, there is validity. Obviously, there has to be a point where there needs to be some level of concern when your partner's doing a certain thing or moving a certain way on social media, if that social media has a dating app. Because for this, when I'm thinking these two couples that I'm thinking about in my mind right now and their sessions as we unfolded content, there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on. And to the point where I think if somebody had been asking some questions about
Mhm.
how frequently this particular person was liking their brother's photos and stuff, loving them, because Facebook has like, love, and all that extra stuff now.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
you're putting love on my brother's photo, and we've been married for 20 some odd years, and my brother and you never really got along anyway, but all of a sudden there are some things that don't add up from our previous Thanksgiving. You were missing, saying you were going to the bathroom for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then he was missing for 10 minutes of that time, and y'all were the only two missing.
Wow, you
And
spend time sitting checking that out. Oh wow.
but see, think about
Yeah.
it. If all of
Mhm.
these things are adding up, potentially this person would have known that their partner had cheated
Long time
in the bathroom with the brother at the Thanksgiving dinner.
ago.
Mhm.
But that didn't come out until obviously this couple were in their amnesty period where there's no recourse for you letting out the truth. But the thing, I was shocked. I have got to say, out of some of the various moments that I've been shocked as a therapist, that was a moment. I was like, you what? I'm writing down the notes now. Whoa, wait, we're not gonna let's unpack that. You did what? What do you mean cheat? Like in what way? You did penetration, oral sex, all of that, and all of 5. Man, y'all are quick. So I was thinking, like y'all can do in a bathroom, a small bathroom, not like a regular bathroom. Like in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. But so in that space where there's amnesty, you can't really respond. You can't ridicule your partner for telling you the truth about what they did. But the interesting thing is in the aftermath, unpacking in those individual sessions, that person never even knew where the red flags were.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like in retrospect, right? He can come and with his hindsight and say, huh, there was this time when I was out of town, he was available to fix the fence. But when I was in town asking him to do it 2 weeks earlier, he was never available to fix the fence, so he doesn't work. And it took him all weekend to fix the fence, right? And he was there every time I call. So these are the things. Like if there are some red flags. So if your partner's on social media hitting that love button, double tapping and all that stuff a lot, having private conversations that are disappearing on social media, these are things that I've collected. Those are things that I think are red flags. If there is a no access policy whatsoever to their social media, like they know, because Facebook has a thing where you're a person's legacy now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just know, for me, I know at some point stuff hits the fan because people really try to hold that stuff together as tight as they can, but stuff starts to leak out. And if you're in a relationship where you all are sort of communicating with each other, you pick up stuff. You will, and then you ask about it. It's like people are afraid to ask. It's like, what's wrong with him? Well, urban therapist, you usually do such and such on Saturday, but now you're starting to do something else. Why are you waiting for 4 or 5 months down the line to now ask when you observe it 4 months ago?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that's a good point because that goes to how people just sidebar their concerns.
Well, they're afraid to ask because they know the answer already and they don't want to hear it because it hurts. My husband really is cheating because now he has to figure out how to lie if he is. Well, I don't play dominoes anymore. I like BizWiz. Well, you used to hate BizWiz, so like all of a sudden you like
right. Where's that? What happened there? What pair of boobs over there at the BizWiz table?
But my point is like people notice this stuff and then they freezes. They don't share. They don't ask. Or it's really just be curious and just ask. You don't have to judge or demand an answer. Just ask. Well, I noticed. I observe. What's that about?
So
Okay,
Rush says women definitely cheat way more than men.
Well, that's.
And then he said that women, if a woman is married, are you saying if a woman is married, she shouldn't be on social media? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's exactly what he's saying. I mean, to each of his own, but I'm kind of leaning on that though.
You can't have kind of like pictures, kind of photos and stuff. You can't be showing if you're on social media.
JC, are you monitoring your? Let me find out you over there monitoring your wife's Facebook.
No, I don't do that, man.
So does that mean men could be on, but not women? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's supposed to be 2 parties. If one can't be on there, then the other one should be on there as well too.
Okay, I got you.
The Dr. Jefferson, have you seen that live that Fresher Fit did with the international Australian podcasters? Because that's what Rush is talking about. Fresher Fit, they was on that show, right? and Fresh Fit was saying that they were saying that a woman shouldn't have a social media account, period, especially if she's married.
It might be
Okay.
No, I disagree with that.
cultural stuff.
Yeah, I actually did a show talking about that too.
Why you
It's on
didn't
my
tag
channel.
me?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was way back. It was way back. I think it was almost like a month ago. I did a show.
Well, no,
Like,
those
you
are the
know
guys
what?
have a fan that just want women to be pregnant and barefoot and walking
It's
around
the
the house.
cultural stuff.
Yeah, those type of men that like that. You be pregnant and
Because
walk around the house barefoot.
yeah, I held that video, Dr. Jefferson, too, but the video is almost like 20 minutes long, so I don't know if you'll be able to get in the email.
Do you have WhatsApp?
No, I can
Well, where
get
did you get the
WhatsApp.
video? You could send her
From
the link.
Fresh Fit.
Okay, so she could probably go look for it.
Oh no.
Yeah, she could check the channel
That's
because
too
that's
much.
why I got it from Fresh
That's
Fit.
too much. No,
I just
me
remodified
on
it.
social media for stuff don't work. Let's not do that. Don't. Let's not put me and my technology skills.
So your producer could go look for it.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
producer can go look for it. Yeah, but I wanna see it. Or you can
Yeah,
put the link on my email.
But
Dr.
that's
okay.
at Gmail.
yeah. That
Mhm.
sounds like it's cultural.
Yeah, it's that's gonna be a good thing for you to want to do a review on for real though,
Yeah.
because it's a really interesting conversation they had.
I think that's an interesting perception. I don't know. What do you mean, Rush, by saying you don't advertise yourself in that light? By having social media, you mean that women should not have interaction socially
I don't
or
know.
socially publicly on social media? Because social media, I want people to think about it. And that's why I decided to do this topic, because I feel like social media is just a representation of social connectivity with an
Mhm.
online presence
Mhm.
instead of being an in-person's presence. And to be honest, it's kind of taken over folks' lives, and it's a distraction from having regular day-to-day in-person relationships. And I think it causes more dissociation for people.
That'd be a good
I
topic, though.
think you said what happened?
I said that'd be a good topic. The social media ruins relationships.
Mm.
Well,
Well, it prevents people from having real intimate relationship because you
right.
could send you your penis and don't have to deal with you anymore. As opposed if we're in the bedroom and I look at your penis and go, oh my God, no, that's too big. That's too small.
Right.
No.
Right. So they don't have to be there for the
Right.
reaction.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you are hitting somebody and running. It's like, well, I don't have to own up to doing that thing
Right.
because you don't know I did that. It's on social media. We're not in person. You can't make me say I did it.
And I don't
So
have to stay around for your response.
yeah. So drop the dick and go. Literally. The dick pictures in her inbox. I can block her now if she doesn't like it. I don't know what the ideation behind that is. And I think that that's the thing that causes me to be more curious than not, because I think if women were, I'm going to be honest, if women were more accountable for the actions of their husbands, boyfriends, they wouldn't be dropping these penis pictures in people's inboxes. And that's my personal stuff, because I'm telling you, like, some of these people I have seen, like, when I would go to their pages, like their profile pictures, after they have like dropped the penis picture in my inbox, they have like wedding photos, recent wedding photos of themselves and their wife, like wife and kid pictures and stuff from trips. But sir, but sir, but sir, like in those, make it make sense for me.
Mhm.
I mean,
You think that's a wife responsibility?
I think that if the wife were more, I think that, yeah, it's her responsibility, because she shapes the limits of and the boundaries of her relationship. A man is only going to do what you allow him to do as a wife. If that's never been a boundary of yours, then he's going to go out there and misrepresent you every time, because he know there are no rules around this. So if this does become an issue later on, you bring it, you can bitch about it all you want to, but you never told me I wasn't allowed to share my penis on social media.
I mean,
It's
that should be
just
common
social
sense,
media.
though. That
No,
should
but
be
we
common
can't do
sense.
that. You can't say, because common sense is not common to those people without a shared experience.
That's right.
So he can easily, that's plausible deniability. That's why you have to have boundaries in a relationship. Like, if you have zero boundaries or expectations when people show up a place, you can't walk out the door and leave them for doing that thing. You can negotiate, you can be mad, you guys can navigate through the issues, but you can't walk away from them and just say, well, our relationship is now over because you did this, because you never told them what the expectation was. It's unfair. You wouldn't want somebody firing you for something they just came up in their mind that was a rule when you was on the job.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
so the same thing applies. I just feel like,
but those rules are written in your vows.
Yes and no. It's just social media. That's how these men think. Like, they think it's just social media. So if it's just remember we talked about that. It's a lack of accountability. They don't have to account for their actions on social media because it's not real.
Right.
It's real because there's real people on this website. I mean, it's real. It's
now I agree with
it's not
you.
like you're playing PlayStation or Xbox or something like that. I mean, the real people, real feelings, real interactions between both parties. So it's real.
Hey, Money Boy Trey, what's going on? Okay. But so I think that's what he was saying. He said not that he doesn't think women should be on social media at all. It's like they can't be on social media advertising themselves. So being in, I don't know what a hoe uniform is. I've learned that 304 means hoe. I don't know. Seeking attention. I don't know what that is, but I would hope that people didn't do that.
I mean, I guess like you showing, you what's it called? You twerking or
Oh. Well, yeah, I think that if a woman is married, why would she be on social media doing that? Now,
yeah,
I
that's what
see
I'm saying, like stuff like that. But you guys are in your
this
bikini,
household.
you're on the beach. I mean, that really shouldn't be nothing to judge.
Yeah. Like, I just think it's appropriation, and I think that that's something that does lead to the whole dynamic of insecurity. Like, people can't trust you if you're out here as a man doing gray sweatpants
Your gray sweatpants, I'm about to say too. Don't be having your gray sweatpants or you
as
have
a
your shirt off and
woman,
stuff. I mean, just certain etiquette. You know what I mean?
right? And as a woman, you're twerking on your social media
Okay,
page.
don't do that.
That's
But if that never get talked about in your relationship, right, then do you hold a man responsible for her acting like that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he has to have boundaries.
Yeah, you gotta have
Like,
boundaries.
yeah, both people in a relationship have to have boundaries.
Mhm.
You cannot be in a relationship with somebody and you don't have a healthy understanding of what your limits are as a person. Like, because there are some people, and I'm going to make sure that I make that clear. There are people, because I am a therapist for the alternative lifestyle alike. And there are some types of polyamorous couples, some type of alternative non-monogamous, non-exclusive couples that are not poly. Some of them, they're swingers. And some of them have no problem with their significant others being on social media, dating sites, dating freely, dating by themselves, dating separately from the couple.
It all depends on the relationship. If it's an open relationship.
Yeah, but even open
Okay, but you
relationships
have
have
an
boundaries.
understanding though. Yeah, you gotta have understanding though from both parties.
Yeah, you have to know what your personal limits are. So when it comes to trust and fidelity and having a secure relationship and your partner showing up in a way that's representative of you and your principles, those are things that you table before you guys get into a relationship. You can't table them and then decide, oh, you pissed me off, I'm going to walk away because it doesn't fit in line with what I want now later on. Like, it's an immature act, because that's what children do when they get in relationships, because they don't know any better. Nobody ever taught them any better. But grown people, adults, have got to start adulting, as they say, and taking more accountability for the way their relationships and their partners' behaviors are shaped. You see what I'm saying? Because there is no way I can speak for my husband. Okay. My husband is never going to be in a woman's inbox sending her a dick picture.
Yeah.
Oh, no, mine wouldn't.
No.
He no.
ever,
never. No way.
ever. He's
Never.
never going to be at somebody's house having sex with her.
Yeah.
He's never going to be cheating on me. I can say these things. You know why? There are boundaries. There are boundaries. And the moment the thought of those things happen, the relationship is no longer.
Most definitely.
We've had those discussions, yes.
Right, right. So you have to, some of the things are just basic. Do you have that conversation, or you trust that person, or you expect that person without ever conveying it to have that common sense that you have, but they don't have because they don't know what you are expecting out of them. I tell people all the time, to do a thing and expect your partner to do it because you did it is illogical. Your partner is not you. You're not dating yourself. You're dating a different person. So you have to get to know their expectations and you have to let them know yours. You have to get to know their boundaries and you have to let them know yours. Because so what you're willing to accept doesn't mean they're willing to accept. And that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be.
And those are things you start to clarify way before you get into moving in with each other, even probably having kids, marriage, the whole meeting the family. No, really. I mean, mothers talk to daughters about when do you introduce your new boyfriend to your kids? Like, because that means the relationship have moved to another level, right? And if your relationship is not in a place where you and him understand, you setting up your kids.
Exactly. Like you can't have like every boyfriend, every person that enters, and that's another thing I think maybe that tables for a discussion, because the thing is, like, how many people do you introduce to your children, men and women alike? Every person that you put your penis in doesn't need to necessarily meet your child. Every person you put you offer your vagina to doesn't necessarily need to meet your children until you've made a deeper level of commitment, considering the now society that we're in. Because it used to be you didn't have sex with the person until they were committed. Now it's the sex comes first. You get to know them second.
You get to know them at some point in time, 20 years later.
I'm not judging you, Lori Harvey. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging.
But my whole thing is, if you're gonna invite someone to meet your parents, they need to at least, be your fiance, your significant other. I'm not gonna have random people come up to me talking about the barbecue. Oh, who's that? Who is she? Who is she? Like, nah, I'm not for all that.
Right, because how do you then?
I'll be like, yeah, this is my wife, or hey, or you a girl, yeah, this is my husband. You're not gonna come to me, have random people come up to me talking about, oh, yeah, I'm dating your daughter, that kind of stuff. Nah, I'm gonna live you get older. So
like, who is that person? Who is that person? Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna be doing all that. I'm gonna be like, hey, this better be your husband. You bring it to me. I'm not gonna keep meeting random dudes. That ain't for me.
I can imagine you as a dad. Like, who is that? Oh, Dad, that's my new boo
Paul, Sam, Wayne.
He's one of those dads who'll be questioning the guy.
Your husband.
You'll be looking at his daughter like,
I don't want to meet your side dude. Like I said, I don't want to meet him.
Man, I was talking to a friend and she told me, I was dying laughing. She said, well, I met the brother, I had met the mother, I had met the sister. But all this time, he and I were dating for the past 7 years. I never knew this man was married. I mean, he was actively married. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? He was actively married. Means that he wasn't an estranged husband. He was an active participating husband. And in his marriage, when he died, because he died, she had an insurance policy on him. And the wife didn't. And the sister was trying to find out how they were going to bury him and things like that. And remember I told you she had only met the brothers and stuff like that, Mom.
Who did not say anything.
Right. Nobody ever said anything all these years. And so The mom, I think, yeah, the mom and the brother referenced her and was like, well, I'm sure she has a policy on him, so you probably need to contact her. You're talking to the wife. So how does that work? So when this woman gets a call, because she never knew the guy was dead, she's just calling, like, hey, babe, we were supposed to meet up today, and I'm here at the airport. You're not. Call me back. Hey, the plane's about to take off. I'm boarded. I hope you get you a replacement flight. Dude's dead. Gets the call while she's on the trip. And from the wife, and she's like, whoa, he doesn't have a wife. We're engaged. We've been engaged for the last 4 years. First of all, ma'am,
4 years engagement.
Oh well, I wait too long. Right there. Features on though. I mean, you like it, I love it, but it ain't for me.
But
you know something is wrong at that point,
right? And she's like, well, I have a policy on him or whatever, and eventually, because she's distraught. Apparently, her partner has died. But my thing is, you're just gonna go over the fact that we're just gonna skip over the fact that he's a whole husband, has had children, 4 kids, 3 of which have been born over the last years that you guys have been together. He's a whole active dad out here in these streets. Like, I think when you're dating is not a relationship status. That's my answer to this. And I think when you are long-term engaged, when your engagement starts to toe the line of 4 years.
Oh no, a year.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
A year.
Engaged for like 6, 8 for a year at most.
You're not in a relationship anymore at that point. I say I give it the 4-year span because I know that some people don't have the finances to get married. And
but it's about going to the. You can.
Yeah, I was thinking about
a big wedding. Go to the. Justice at a peace.
You don't have no big. You don't have no big ring or big wedding. You can go to the courthouse.
And
some people need that though.
Right down to Fulton County and get yourself a marriage license. You get your gun license, right. You get your marriage counseling, your marriage counseling license right down there.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And on the anniversary, plan to put some money aside to have more of a gathering.
Let me tell you, I think people have got to get more serious about how they date and what that looks like. To the external eye looking, even, do you follow your partner on social media? Why or why not? Is it important to you? What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's important to me.
I mean, if he posts something and it shows up on mine, I respond. Otherwise,
we're friends. I'm friends with him.
Yeah,
but I don't think I follow him. Perhaps I should. Let me go out here. See if
go ahead. Go right ahead.
See if he out here in these streets cheating.
I find some not. I would not be the least bit surprised because I work on the premise that sometimes people are not. You can't trust people. Their behavior is what you look at.
Yeah. He might be out here. You know what I'm saying? Double tapping somebody's big booty twerking video.
Good for him. I wish him well.
Right.
Because I know what he loses if that happens, and he does too. So
yeah, I mean, but for me, it's not really important if it's not important that my partner follows me. It's not important that I follow him because I'm not.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not on social media like that. Like I post through other platforms. For example, this show is streamed through StreamYard. It's not a promotion for them, but it's, you know what I mean? I'm never actively engaged on social media like that to that extent. Now, TikTok is something that is more like I try to get on there as much as I can. TikTok has some interesting stuff on there. Now, TikTok can be
TikTok waiting to Oh my God.
Yeah, it could
It's
be an
toxic.
explosion. For
Mm.
a relationship, I'm going to say that TikTok can be very dangerous. When I say I've seen so many people struggle around TikTok posts and the content, like, I see so many young men that's a whole snack on there. All of this, what they call it, thirst trapping that they doing, with showing their bodies this way and glistening in the sun that way.
Mm. Mm-mm. I'm
You're
not
not
on
gonna get me in
TikTok.
that trap. I'm not double tapping it though. I'm not watching it for more than 2 seconds. I think my son said if you watch it more than 2 seconds, it show up and it'll keep giving you the same content over and over again. But TikTok can be dangerous for a person's relationship because I've seen it cause like serious issue. I joke about it because I think it's funny how people have the tendency to think that you can make a social media platform responsible for your actions as a
Mm.
human being.
Mm. No,
But
yeah, I'm not on any. I'm on Facebook. That's it. And I remember I went on a Facebook because I live in a country now where I didn't. I wanted to reconnect with people that I know because I know they've come over here, and I got on because I knew it was a way to reconnect with my other Caribbean folks. So that's why I'm still on Facebook. That's how I find my classmates from 1972, 73, right?
mhm.
But that's really it for me. I don't care about the rest of the stuff. Facebook is like General Hospital. It's an ongoing saga, right?
Oh my god, and it's so much drama on it. Like people literally now they live broadcast their breakups and makeups and
Yeah,
drama.
and hurting
It's
people and all that
yeah,
stuff.
Bought it
it's
off
just too
social media.
much.
Yeah, but for me, it was really what it was designed to be, really to connect.
Mhm.
Connect with people that you've lost track of.
So, what do you guys feel like are the red flags in modern day dating that lead to the insecurities that people have around like trusting their partner on social media and lead to discussions like this? Because, like, obviously, people are out here living their best life, not regarding their partner highly. So,
Yeah,
what
I
are
guess.
some of the red flags?
Well, not having boundaries, like you said earlier, not having boundaries. I mean, letting people do whatever. That's kind of a red flag.
Mhm.
Right. And then people who shy away from boundaries because you got some folks that literally they'll say, "Oh, you're a narcissist. You're trying to control me if you introduce boundaries." The first thing I'm going to say is this: narcissistic personality disorder, the centralized feature is not control.
Mhm.
That's OCPD. So it doesn't mean that they're narcissistic. It means that those people realize that healthy dating, healthy relationships are relationships that have a healthy foundation. Foundations equal to boundaries, just like a house. A house needs structural components that are the foundation of the system that holds the house together against storms and things like that. That's what you got to look at your relationship as. That's the house. It needs the foundation. Foundations are those guidelines, the grid,
Mhm.
and the plans that say that this thing is going to come together in this way so that we can be our healthiest version of ourselves, regardless of how we may evolve,
Mhm.
right? Because the house walls inside of your house may be painted blue this day, purple the next day, orange the next day, but it is still that same house. That foundation has still, provided the structure for it, and it's still a good house, right?
Mhm.
So it's just kind of like that for me. I don't know how much validity I give the whole placing your phone down this way versus having it up this way.
Well, I feel like as far as your phone situation, you guys should be able to, swap phones and see. Well, I'm trying to.
You
I'm
don't want
trying.
to
I'm
I
talk
trying
don't
to
about
think.
even
it in your
I
phone.
mean,
Like
think of
doing,
that.
I mean, I'm not so,
I don't
you know,
even think of that. If my husband
I
phone
don't, I
rings,
don't think about it
yeah.
either. Like, if you think about it, I mean, if you guys are
I
together,
don't I don't, but I think that they're cuz I don't know cuz I
what if,
I
yeah,
just
what about like, yeah, like on deleting phone call messages, that could be a red flag.
yeah, walking in the room and they stop talking, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, mm, you know,
yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Those could definitely be. I can see how that could be a red flag. But what if they're planning a surprise birthday party?
yeah, well,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
that's true. but it's
I don't know.
then you learn about it, and then you
It's a red flag. It's a red flag that they're keeping something from you.
well, they're supposed to. We're not surprised.
But I don't want anybody out there saying Dr. Jefferson told me it was a red flag in my partner. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Like my partner out here turning this, getting quiet when I get into the room, turning the conversation to, about those tulips.
Yeah, well, I get that too. Like my husband and my kids, whenever my kids come over, and I know they're planning something. I just kind of, when I walk in and they go, they change. You could tell the conversation changed. Like, okay, they're up to something. It's mother, and then I go like, oh, it's Mother's Day. It's my birthday. It's
right. So they're
probably it's like, okay,
they're probably sneaking around,
a
bit. But I don't know.
Red flags. I mean, I think just probably another thing too is like you're out dating and stuff, and everything the person said, you go, yeah, okay, oh shoot, you're agreeing with like everything. Like, where are you? Where do you start and end, and this person start? Like
right.
You don't. You're not having a home voice or opinion. That might be a red flag.
Yeah, boundaries. They say something, and even if you kind of disagree, you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's just to try to appease them and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Placative behavior can definitely be a red flag because what that says is that person's more so there to just appease you and that's it. So there's no context to who that person is, and they don't have all of their boundaries are really permeable because it says that they're just willing to go off of what you say and what you do.
What about trying to express yourself? Like sometimes you don't feel like you have to hold stuff in. You don't feel like you can share with your partner. Could that be a red flag as well too?
I don't think so because some people have personality disorders that makes them. I'm serious.
That's a red flag.
Paranoid personality disorder. The centralized feature of it is distrustfulness and suspiciousness around relationships, whether it's warranted or not. And most of the time it's not warranted because it's like all of the suspicious stuff that's happening is happening in their head.
Right.
So I
avoid relationships.
What about
even borderline personality disorder? Both of them.
What about still contacting your ex? Your ex-wife, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-husband. Ex relationship, ex person you might have slept with. Would that be considered a red flag? Or you still keep them in touch, or you still have them on your phone, you still have photos, pictures, whatever you consider.
I don't think so.
Like if you're concerned, you ask. You be curious about what that is, because because you in a relationship with this guy that he can't talk to his ex. If they separated amicably, I mean,
I can see they have children together,
but even then. Does that mean you suddenly cut them off and you don't talk to your ex at all?
Now, see, let me tell you something. That's what I feel like is a toxic feature in most American people. Most people think that when you have been in a relationship with someone and you're no longer in that same said relationship with them, so relationships don't end because we're all connected systemically in the world until we die. And even after death, there is a certain level of spiritual energy, continuation of the legacy and things like that imprint. But relationships only evolve. So to expect people to disconnect completely from the people that they built lives with and had in their life as they grew and matured into new spaces for 15, 20 years, even just a decade, it's unrealistic because that person has been a part of their journey. Whether they had kids or not, they've grown and created things together. If nothing else, that relationship. And if they're healthy, they don't just cut ties because what that says is that person has an issue.
And I think people
personal accountability.
I think people who has that believe that you don't talk to your ex anymore. If you kind of have a conversation with them about how that relationship and what you hear is there's been a lot of distension, there's been arguments, there's been fights, there's been a lot of betrayal. So that's what they're really talking about when they say you shouldn't, have cut off all ties with your ex, because really the relationship in itself was boundaryless, it was volatile, and there's a lot of unresolved hurt that's coming out of it.
Right, and that's resentment, and that's dangerous. That to me, that's a red flag. When you still hold resentment for a person you're no longer in a relationship and have evolved out of, if you can't come to a healthy way of recognizing the value that that person added to your life, even if you found that you guys were no longer in perfect harmony or in alignment, that to me says that that's a red flag. Because what happens when this relationship ends abruptly? What happens when this relationship no longer serves that same said purpose, or you feel those same sentiments towards myself in a relationship? How much do you value the connectivity that you house and have with people?
Oh wait, I got another one.
Hmm.
Mhm.
What about like spending more time on social media than acknowledging your partner? That might be insecurity too. Let's say like
Mhm.
he's trying y'all at the
Yeah.
dinner table, y'all at the movie, but he's always on his phone. She's always on her phone, texting or
Mhm.
on
Mhm.
Facebook, Snapchat, whatever. He needs your partner. You're not acknowledging your partner. That could be a red flag or insecurity too.
Yeah, now
Mhm.
that's a red
Yeah,
flag. If every
yeah,
time you find yourself in bed and in intimate spaces with your partner,
yeah.
and intimate spaces, I don't mean sex,
Mhm.
because intimacy is an activity between two people that is uninterrupted. And so it means you're sitting with them, you're eye gazing with them, you're looking at the sun, you're looking at the sunset, you're looking at the sunrise, you're looking at the moon, you're looking at the stars, whatever it is you guys are doing. Sitting in spaces together, just holding space for one another's energy, right? If you're you know,
Mhm.
if you're still in that phone the
You are
whole
not
time,
available.
that's you're emotionally unavailable, and that
Mhm.
is a red flag.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what that says is that
Hmm.
you're not in a space to where you can really connect with them authentically, because you're halfway connected with somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Secret cell phones is another thing. I know I just pulled out another phone.
Yeah, she's got two more to pull out.
Right. Look, look, I'm a red flag.
Example. We get in a
Perfect example. Perfect example. Like I got a husband on this one, another boyfriend on that one. No. But no, having multiple phone devices that your partner doesn't know about, having social media accounts, secondary, private,
Yeah.
mm,
secret accounts that your partner doesn't know about, hiding parts of you from your partner,
mm,
or feeling like you have to hide your accounts from your partner. So that
mm,
doesn't mean go out there and give your password and access to your stuff to your partner. It means that they should know that you have these things.
Hmm.
Like, so those are red flags to me.
mhm. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, so those are the things that are definitely on my list. You guys continue to chat and let me know what your thoughts and reflections are down below. If you come up with any other red flags, if you want to answer the previous questions where we talked about the modern day dating ideation, like the thoughts and thought process of dating in modern day America. If you feel like your relationship should or shouldn't be posted on social media, you can post a response to that question. One of the one that is more important to me during this whole thing is, if your partner chooses not to post your relationship status and you're the one in the relationship with them, I want to know if that bothers you guys. That's the part, is because that is something that could definitely grind the gears of some people, and it leads to very insecure spaces, and it leads to the ripple effect that, more betrayals and insecurity is housed because people don't have the discussions around their concerns.
Mm,
They just go with the flow and let it all
mm,
unveil, and if it spills it spills, if it drops it drops, if it breaks it breaks, or whatever. But um that's where I am with it. I feel personally, my partner doesn't have to add me on Facebook.
Hmm.
I don't have to be on their Facebook. I
mm.
don't have to
That's
follow
true.
them.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal to me. But when a person makes a huge issue about not wanting you to follow them on social media,
Why are you looking at my page?
yeah, I think that's a red flag.
Yeah.
I
Why are you
think
looking
that's a red flag. Why were you on my page? Oh, you thought that it was okay for you to go find this out about me? Like these kinds of things, I
Why you
think,
asking me why she's on my page? Why
yeah.
he's on my
Yeah. So, those are my thoughts. What are you guys' wrap up thoughts?
yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely. Like I said, you guys gotta be secure, within yourself, and just like I said, not posting your relationship status could be a damper on some relationships. But honestly, you guys have a connection. the trust, the bond with each other, it really shouldn't matter whether you got posts or not. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's just how I look at it. But like I said, for my case, I do it because, like I said, just out of respect. This is what I honor. This is what I, married for. So for me, it's just for rewarding, but I don't have to do it. I just do it because out of respect. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I think, things will only work if you communicate with each other. And you have to do that, not in the back, not at the end, but really at the beginning about what this means for you.
And you got to set the standard.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's really communicating. It's communicating.
Right. And every relationship looks different. So, I'm not speaking out against any type of relationship structure or dynamic. I think people have to learn how to be better communicators because communication is the key to having healthy relationships and being able to resolve issues in the relationship effectively.
Yeah.
But
even if it involves saying, I don't think you should have a Facebook page. You need to say that.
Right.
If you don't, then they'll go have one, and then that creates a big barrier.
Right. But you have to say what it is that you're expecting out of your partner and what you expect out of your relationship. I think having healthy conversations and getting help when you need it, because sometimes you're not going to be able to come to a level of resolve. It's just not going to happen.
And respect people's space and respect people, allow people to be who they are.
Right.
You're learning about them in this relationship. So allow him or her to be who they are because they're not supposed to be you.
And if you don't like them, move on.
Say so and then move on. Don't hang in there being resentful. So,
yeah. So I want to thank you guys for watching, for tuning in and all that great stuff.
Thank you for having me on, Dr. Jefferson.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
More than welcome. I want to thank
you, sir.
JC. Yeah, I want to thank him for bringing the topic to the forefront because, of course, without his decision to have this conversation, then we wouldn't be here because that's something
definitely. I appreciate
wanted to table.
Okay.
But so
and you are JC? Is that JC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the people who contributed in the chat to the conversation, who gave us further insights to explore and things like that. I will do my due diligence and go and check out that that post was a video from Fresh and Fit that the official urban therapist was talking about. I also want to thank him for coming on, sharing his thoughts and insights. And thank you, Mario J, for sharing out the video and for promoting my material, for being a consistent person that comes to this platform, promotes this platform and positivity. I want to encourage you guys to be your best version of yourself out there in these streets. And please, please, please create positive energy and create a positive impact on the world that we are all connected to. And if you can't do that, if you find yourself being more negative Nancy, then elect not to do anything at all and just disconnect completely.
And reach out to a therapist. It's really okay.
Yep. So that's all I got, you guys. Oh, hey, Lawrence, how are you? Go back to the very beginning of the video and check out this discussion. I thought that this one was amazing. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to my guests for coming on and sharing their insights.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So I will be seeing you guys later. Bye.
Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.